You're muted.
Faithful. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
It's one of those technical days today, but that can't stop us, Jason, because the 49ers are headed to the NFC Championship, man. What a wild ride it's been. How are you feeling after all the emotions that went into that Packers game?
I think I finally just put the Packers game out of my mind, and I'm starting to get excited now for the NFC Championship. Not out of my mind, but it took me a few days to figure out what the hell happened in that game. And a lot of what happened can't be quantified with any sort of stat, measurable, or anything that's really tangible other than lady luck, destiny, something. Something is happening right now with this team. And it took me a while watching it, watched it again, watched the all 22. I don't even know if I really have a reasonable conclusion as to how this game unfolded the way that it did and how the 49ers ended up with more points. But who cares? That's the good part, is I don't have to come up with a reasonable conclusion because they did win. And there is another game on Sunday, which I will be in LA for. Let's go.
We will have boots on the ground with the takeover of SoFi Stadium, man. The noise this week leading up to this game has been insane. It's Wednesday, obviously, but there has been a lot to go down. What are your thoughts on the whole Ticketmaster situation where they're trying to block purchases from fans outside the LA area? How do you interpret that? What do you think the fan base's response to that?
You're poking the bear, dude. I mean, there are a lot of 49ers fans in the LA area as is. And now you're starting to tell this fan base that travels as well as any fan base out there that you are not going to allow them in your stadium. Psh, man, you're just asking for it at this point. You knew that people were going to find a way to get around it. That's why they lifted the ban. They lifted it. They had to because they caught too much pressure. You knew 49er fans were going to find a way. They're crafty. They're always going to find their way into your stadium. Every game that I've ever been to, ever, on the road, ever, has been filled with 49er fans. What do you think it's going to be like with a drive? Some people can drive to this game. The flight is an hour from some of the places that 49ers fans live. What did you think was going to happen? It just speaks to the fear that not only the organization fears with the fans, but their team because they need it. Matthew Stafford's wife complaining about silent count. Sean McVay saying, yeah, that definitely affected us. It's all them trying to help their team out. But don't try and tell 49ers fans what to do, where to go, when to go, because they're always on go mode and you know they're going to be there. So it was a fleeting battle. It was really just a exercise in futility because 49er fans were going to find a way to get around that anyway.
Absolutely. It definitely feels like their plan backfired in the worst possible way. It actually challenged us 49er faithful to be there. And we're going to have this guy, Jason Aponte, traveling all the way from the East Coast. So if you see this man walking around, make sure you say what's up to the living legend, Jason Aponte. Also, too, if you're watching on either one of our channels, you're watching on my channel, hop over, give this man a sub. And likewise, make sure you like both of these videos because we are doing the dual stream state of the franchise episode. Let's talk a little bit about that the Packers game, because I am too very charged up on the Rams. It was kind of a situation where we just came off that insane win against the Packers, and then that news about Ticketmaster came out, I think, even before the Rams played against the Bucks. So I feel like it took all our energy away from even celebrating the win over the Packers and just pushed it into this rivalry with the Rams. But going back and looking at that game, if you had to, obviously the offense did struggle and had a hard time moving the ball, getting things going in their direction. But when you look at the defensive side, who are some players that really stood out to you and performed and kept the team in this game to allow them to kick the game-winning field goal with Robbie Gould?
Eric Armstead, Dante Johnson, Jimmy Ward, Kwaski Tart, Jordan Willis, Fred Warner. The whole defense, everybody. D'Amico Ryans, everybody. Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman, all of them. Every single one of them, all of them. But no, what I mean, Eric Armstead, is playoff Armstead a real thing? He's just racking up sacks right now at this point. He's being an absolute force. If Jaquiski Tart doesn't run down Aaron Jones at the half. Then Jimmy Ward cannot block the field goal. Dante Johnson, who started the game, was playing outside, was playing nickel, was playing safety, moving around. He is the guy that we wanted on the field the entire time in terms of him or Norman. At least we know what one guy's going to do. At least we know that one guy is going to be in position and be solid. And that's why they have so much confidence in him. I know everybody makes jokes about Dante Johnson, but he was invaluable in this game. But Jordan Willis, he's the reason that Jimmy Ward was able to break through for the field goal block. And that block punt is already goated 49ers moment. Like up there right now already. Like if this team does what I think they're going to do, and the way that they've been moving with like this air of like magic around them, put that block punt picture in the Louvre, man. Hang it up and put it in the Hall of Fame, man. It is that big of a play. One of the biggest plays in 49ers history.
Absolutely. That play was iconic. The way Jordan Willis was able to break through the line of scrimmage, get his hand up and block that kick. And then Talanoa Hufanga to scoop it up and score. Absolutely beautiful. Gray Fox with the $50 super chat says, "Hey, Goats, I have nothing to say. Just want to show my appreciation for the work you do. Keep it up." What a legend. Talk about legend.
Shout out to Gray Fox. Gray Fox is a legend, man, and he's been, though. I appreciate you, bro, man. It's not over, though. It's not over. We got a lot more to talk about. There's a lot more to do.
It is not over at all. Lisa says, "Did you guys see Miss Stafford buy tickets to give away? Almost want to buy Rams gear, take pics, and return. LOL." I personally did not see this.
No,
Did
I
you
didn't see that
this?
either. No, I didn't. But I will say this. I think what 49er fans should do as like a ruse is try to just walk in wearing blue and then everybody just rip off their blue shirts and everybody's got red underneath and just be like, "Fooled you. We're here." Like just so they think that they're safe. And as soon as the game starts, boom, rip it off and just say, "Yup, we here." But again, desperation. It was Mrs. Whitworth, I believe. It was Andrew Whitworth's wife that was doing it. I don't know if it was Stafford that was doing it too. Stafford's wife was complaining on the podcast, but I remember Andrew Whitworth's wife talking about, if you're going to sell them to me and I'll give them away. So maybe Stafford's wife did that too, but I thought it was Whitworth's wife.
I mean, I saw the one from Whitworth. That's the one that got retweeted by Staley, and then Gore retweeted that one, and that kind of started a little firestorm of itself. I haven't seen anything from Mrs. Stafford, but I wouldn't put it by her because obviously we heard her go on the podcast after the Week 18 game against the Rams and talked about how Matthew Stafford had to go on a silent count, whereas Jimmy did not. And everything that we're seeing based on the trends, based on everything that we're seeing from Ticketmaster and some of these ticket brokers, it does sound like there's an opportunity and it's trending towards there being more Niner fans at SoFi, aka Levi South, this weekend. Do you think that is a pretty big competitive advantage to be able to force a home team on a silent count? What does that do? How does that change the game for an offense?
Hell yeah, it does. And you heard Jimmy Garoppolo say that when it started to get loud, that's when the momentum switched in the Week 18 game. It definitely does. I mean, when you hear Matthew Stafford's wife talk about it and talk about what a silent count is, and then when you hear Sean McVay, yeah, that we didn't expect that, it kind of disrupted us. Of course it does. And they wouldn't say those things. I mean, McVay wouldn't have said that if it wasn't true. So it absolutely matters. It absolutely matters because it'll be quiet on offense for the 49ers. The 49ers will get to do whatever they want and yell out all the calls, but it won't be quiet for the Rams, and that's supposed to be a home game. So, of course, it messes with them psychologically. It messes with them because they're just like, man, do we have any fans? Like, are we getting support? Like, does anybody care? So, they've got a lot of mental hurdles to clear in this game. Can you beat the big bad boogeyman? Are you sad that there's not that many Rams fans? Are you mad that you at home have to now make adjustments that nobody at home should make? There's a lot in the Rams' way. The Rams have all the pressure in this game. The Rams have all the pressure in this game. They've got a lot of things to overcome. The 49ers just got to do what they've been doing, and they've been finding different ways to do it, is win. That's it. And that's all they've been doing. They found different ways to do it every single week these past 3 weeks.
Absolutely. And I love that point about pressure because I think what we've heard from 49ers is they've come into this game. We keep hearing the term house money, right? This team is playing with house money. At 3-5, we know we don't have to rehash what the season was. We've all been there. We've all lived it. If you're listening to a podcast about the 49ers right now, there's a good chance you were probably in it when we were going through it. So there's nothing to rehash there. But obviously, squeaking into the playoffs in the way they did by the hairs of their chin, getting in past the Rams. Whereas the Rams on the other side, they have no first-round picks for multiple years. They traded everything away to get guys like Jalen Ramsey, Von Miller, and all these different guys, OBJ, onto this roster because there is a pressure to win the Super Bowl in their own stadium. So does it feel like there's more to lose for the Rams than there's like obviously going to the Super Bowl for the 49ers is a huge gain. But when we're talking about pressure, 49ers playing with house money, kind of taking it one game at a time, whereas the Rams, on the other hand, their owner is pushing to get this like home stadium advantage in that extremely overpriced stadium now called Levi South. Is there like a different pressure that the Rams are working with right now?
Absolutely. They're the ones who have to prove something. The 49ers don't have to prove anything, and they don't have to do anything other than what they've done the last 6 times that they've faced the Rams, is play their style of football. The pressure's on them to make it seem like they are not owned. And to lose for a third time, like the pressure's on you to make that happen. A lot of people are already saying, well, the 49ers can't do it 3 times in a row. Why not? Why not? I get it. Law of
They've done it
averages.
6 times, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Across
Like
multiple years.
I get it. Law of averages, right? You're playing the same
Right.
team over and over. But why not? Why not? And the Rams have to stop that. They have to combat that. The 49ers aren't coming into this game on a losing streak. And they were the team that everybody said they didn't want to play. Everyone has been saying that. And then look at the competition. Matthew Stafford, Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers, all pressured above 38% of the time, which is astronomical. And to hold that Packers offense to 10 points, I mean, this team is built to beat anybody. So all they have to do is play their game. The Rams have to do something that is out of the ordinary for them, is they have to beat the 49ers. And I understand with the Super Bowl on the line, you have to beat whoever's in front of you. But there's still something to the whole idea that you have to slay the boogeyman. And the pressure's on you to do it. The 49ers don't have to keep beating you. They have been beating you. So there's no pressure on their side. They're loose. They're playing well. The team is relatively healthy from the injury report that we got today. Kittle's off of it. Garoppolo's shoulder is no longer on it. Looks like Trent's going to play. Ambry Thomas may play. It doesn't seem like there's much going on, right? Jordan Willis wasn't even supposed to play in that Packers game, and look what he did, on that ankle, right? So everything is pointing towards the 49ers. The Rams are the ones who have to buck the trend, stop something that has been happening over and over and over. So it's on them. It's not on the 49ers. The 49ers just got to come in and play their game, and they'll be fine.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what's up for stakes. We just got alerted from Lisa about the Miss Stafford post 2 hours ago. I actually have it right here on our screen, and we can enjoy it together. So this is the Instagram post that Lisa is talking about. Mrs. Stafford just said, just went on Ticketmaster and saw how expensive tickets are getting. I'm going to buy a good amount and give them away. If you are a hardcore Rams fan or just a regular,
why are you reading just like
a regular Rams fan? What's a regular Rams fan?
I don't know.
A veteran, active in the military, a public servant, etc. Email me. She gives her email. That is dangerous.
I'm about to email her right now.
Set up her own email. staffgivesback@gmail.com and tell me your story with some photos attached and go back to you. I'll get back to y'all tomorrow night.
Hey, can you Photoshop me in a Rams jersey in a bunch of pictures, and it make it seem like that, and then I'll send all that out there, and I'll say, I fell in love with this team when Kurt Warner was, greatest show on turf. That would be the ultimate troll, is to get the tickets from Stafford's wife, and there would be some bangers, and then me pull up in red.
This fan base needs to figure out how to catfish the crap out of this woman right now. Everyone, just exactly what Jason said. Somehow get a Photoshop. Any of you guys know Photoshop, whatever. Go if you can
Photoshop me in some Rams stuff. Put a Rams hat on me, whatever. Photoshop me in some Rams podcast stuff like that. Do it, please. I promise you I'll get it done.
Get Jason looking all rammed out, and we're gonna get this plan going. Kat, like if we can somehow get her to give away tickets to, oh my goodness, like this is legendary stuff right here. I've never seen the back and forth between a fan base like this. The Rams are genuinely terrified
Yeah.
of the San Francisco 49ers. Have you seen this? I mean, we've watched a lot of football. We watched the entire NFL, Jason, and especially you, with all the fantasy stuff that you do. Have you ever seen anything like this before?
No, I haven't. Unless I'm just missing something. But division rivals, having your stadium taken over by the division, right? Like in Seattle, there's 49er fans that go to Seattle, but they're not taking over the stadium. 49er fans travel everywhere. They don't, I mean, the only time that I've really seen them take over another stadium was in 2019 when I went to the first game against Tampa. It was
I
red.
remember that.
It was red. It was red everywhere,
remember
though.
that.
I mean, obviously they're red as well too.
Right.
But it was at the end of the game when everybody was leaving, you could tell the amount of 49er fans that were there. So yes, the 49er fans are going to travel, but it's like a 65-35 Rams 49ers split, and that's unheard of. So unless I'm missing something else, I don't remember that. I really don't.
This is crazy, man. Like this has reached new heights, especially in the social media era. Obviously, we dabble, you and I, Jason, quite a bit in social media, so we have a pretty damn good understanding of how it all works and the do's and the don'ts. And we've had our fair shares of getting ratioed and doing things like that and getting dunked on. It happens.
I mean, I've been getting
Sometimes
cooked
you
by
get the
Robbie Gold.
bear, sometimes the bear gets you. It's just how
Yeah,
it works.
I've been getting cooked about Robbie Gold. I just had to take my L like a man, bro.
Hey, I saw that. So respect to my guy Jason. He owned it. I didn't see a Mitch Wisnowski post, but I did see the
What did he do? What did he do? You'll get that apology from my cold, dead hands. Robbie Gold, you deserve all of it. 20 for 20 in the postseason and just clutch money, man. You deserve it, bro. That's all. I apologize, Robbie. Mitch, you gotta work a little bit harder, bro. I need you to kick the ball, punt it to the 1, and then go down and smash the person and tackle him and leave him at the 1. And I'll say, all right, great pick on the 4th round. You know, Mitch Wisnowski, you got it. That's how you get me to apologize.
When Mitch Wisnowski scores a game-winning touchdown, it'll all be good. We'll all be back to
That's just how crazy the season would be. That like the last play of like this game is just gonna be a fake punt where Mitch just takes it to the crib and wins it. Like I would just be like, you know what, bro? Saddle up. That's how crazy this season is.
Could you imagine Mitch has this booming kick, like everything's blocked up in the C's part, and it's like OBJ and Mitch, and they just like meet in the middle. Mitch causes a crazy fumble, snatches it midair, runs in for a touchdown.
I'll have to delete my account.
Yeah, it would be insane. But Robbie Gould did absolutely. I mean, he's been clutch. Let's call a spade, and I commend you for owning what you've had to own, and because I think rightfully so. I think Robbie Gould, especially in that moment, in the snow, that's a lot of pressure, dude. I know I can speak for myself, but in that moment, I don't think I've ever had as much anxiety from a game. And I'm going back to like 2012 Super Bowl on the 5-yard line, 4 plays left, like ready to go and win a super. Like that was pretty intense. You know, the other Super Bowl was pretty intense, but I don't know, something about that game. I was just like freaking out. I don't know about you.
Well, I mean, they literally snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. 4 minutes left. They're about to punt. This offense wasn't moving. Did you really believe that this team was going to, come back and score points and win the game? They get it in the most crazy way because the only team that is worse in special teams is the Green Bay Packers. Shout out to y'all. And thank you for only having 10 people on the field for that last field goal as well. So not only did the Dallas Cowboys, yeah, they did on the last field goal. They only had 10 on the field. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
LaFleur had to own that one, so cram it up your cram hole, LaFleur. But
cram it up your cram hole, LaFleur.
LaFleur, prepare to be embarrassed on cable television. No, but it's funny. Dallas forgets how to football, and then the Green Bay Packers forget how to football. Like it's something's happening. Something is happening, man. Yeah. Oh, Lisa, let's go. Let's go.
Dua
I'll even
Lisa.
say some nice things. I'll even say some nice things about Matthew Stafford.
Yes. I've been a Matthew Stafford fan since Detroit, and I followed him here to the Rams, and I've been a new Rams fan since he's been. You
Right.
can
Honestly, it's Megatron's fault anyway. He retired too early. How dare you leave that guy alone, man? He's been so great.
ownership in Detroit is worthless. So glad he escaped on our
So glad
way
that you guys
to
are
get a
over
Super
here.
Bowl.
Big Matt Stafford guy. Huge.
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 Oh my goodness. Mario says a beer for Sunday. Enjoy it, bro. We appreciate you, man.
Oh,
We
beers will
really,
be
really
drank
do.
or drunk. Whatever.
Oh yeah, lots of good vibes on this show today. State of the franchise episode. Obviously, Jason, we started doing this right before week 8, and here we are headed into the NFC Championship game. I know you and I probably around that time would, if we said, hey, we're going to be doing this heading into the NFC Championship game, we probably both would have been like, okay, we'd like to see how first, because it was improbable at 1.3 and 5, just down and out, just really couldn't get anything moving forward. And you talked about destiny before. I think, when we've done our lives with Jordan as well, he talks about destiny quite a bit. Do you feel like there's that at play? Like when we really, you know, there's a lot of things that, you and I will try to evaluate on the field, off the field. We'll try to make it make sense and do all those kinds of things. But we understand football can just be a game of momentum and just things that don't make sense sometimes. And does it kind of feel like this team has that going for them at this point?
I mean, just look at the last 3 weeks. Jimmy Garoppolo with a messed up thumb in LA, 17-0. 49ers come back. He's got to have it. Comeback drive win. Dallas Cowboys forget how to play football at the end of the game. And Debo Samuel calls his shot on a touchdown play, calls it to coach, tells everybody, let's put it in the box, and he scores. Jordan Willis's block punt and Robbie Gould's field goal. All of this stuff is improbable. And this is the stuff that when they make the championship DVD, they will go back and look at those moments and they will
Mhm.
look at them and say, this is when this happened. This was the turning point in this game. There's too many special things going on right now in a row that can't be ignored. And there's no way to quantify it. There's no measurable, there's no stat, right? This is how the New York Giants won Super Bowls. You get hot, you get things to bounce your way, and you have a ferocious pass rush. And anything can happen. You can even slay the undefeated GOAT. And this is where this team is headed right now at this point. They were a team that nobody wanted to face, but now, and when you look at other teams, the way that they win Super Bowls, there's always these types of moments. No, rarely do teams just roll over everybody and they just win every single game like by a wide margin. Rarely. There's always things that you point to and say, wow, that was magical. Wow, that was a break for us. Wow, like that's the sort of thing that's happening. Look at the Ravens when they beat the 49ers, right? If the Denver Broncos are playing the correct coverage, that bomb gets knocked down. Guess what? They don't even make that Super Bowl. But that happens, right? Joe Flacco plays out of his mind for one entire postseason, never does it again. But that's all you need. But that's all you need. You just need a stretch of games where you are playing better than other teams. You're playing for each other and things are breaking your way. And right now, that's what's happening for the 49ers. The 49ers didn't score one offensive touchdown against the Green Bay Packers and won. I have no idea. I still can't wrap my head around it. If I would have told you that the Green Bay Packers were going to score 10 points in that game, you would have said the 49ers win by 2 touchdowns. And if I would have told you that the 49ers were not going to score an offensive touchdown in that game, you would have said they lost. So it's improbable. It's improbable right now. The way that they're winning, they're finding ways to win. And again, it's not tangible. There's no measurable. There's no stat for magic or anything like that. But something is happening and it's lining up too well. And the path, Rams, Cowboys, Packers, Rams again. And then maybe, just maybe, that sequel, that rematch. Exactly. Things are lining up, man. Like it's crazy right now to think where this team could be, and the set of circumstances around this team is insane.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much going on around this team. It's crazy. Key says he looks when I think he's talking about LaFleur here. He says LaFleur looked so pale at the press conference, like he was going into shock over having to coach the Packers without Rodgers. I mean, do you think Rodgers is going back? Do you think he's gone? Him and Devontae, they fly in the coop. I heard Denver could be a
Denver.
potential landing spot, and it
That's what
does
I heard
sound like
too.
it would make sense.
That does make sense, and that would make Denver a very, very, very dangerous team. I mean, they have an amazing defense. Who we're going to find out who their coach is, but I've heard that too as well. So I don't know. I thought for sure he wasn't going to come back this year. I thought that he was just going to go ahead and just be petty and just go do Jeopardy. But who the hell knows what's going on in his mind, especially these days. So maybe, but I don't think he'll be back. But who knows? He could just turn it around and just say, "Well, Adams, come back and let's play together." And still, so he's got years left.
Absolutely. We got Mav saying Wason Wapante, best pod on YouTube. I see
Appreciate
no
my guy
lies.
Mav.
I see no lies detected. So obviously we got some news about some injuries that will pertain to the Rams game. The biggest one that we're keeping our eye on is obviously Big Trent Williams. Yeah, but what's kind of crazy about that too is there is a world where the 49ers didn't have Trent Williams week 18 against the Rams. They started Colton McKivitz at left tackle, a legitimate game time decision. Kyle Shanahan talked about it today, where Trent Williams was trying it out, and they just were like, yeah, it's not going to happen. And they look at Colton and said, "You ready?" And he showed up. So
That's that Drewski meme.
What?
That Drewski meme of him pointing at himself, like me? Like, yeah.
Me? Facts. And he played pretty well, but that's kind of something that's the biggest, I believe, injury concern heading into this week. We've heard Ambry Thomas, who was kind of like a mini surprise, inactive against the Packers. He's looking like he's performing a little bit better than he was last week. What is your kind of thoughts on the injuries, those being the two biggest ones heading into this game?
Well, I'm just going to be optimistic and say that they're going to be out there. I mean, it's Wednesday right now, and the way Kyle was talking about Trent was pretty good. I know that a lot of fans will say, well, if he's saying one thing, it's probably the other. But I really think that he believes that he has a chance to play in this game. I mean, he was moving around pretty well after the game. That's a lot of adrenaline, obviously. The Ambry Thomas one, he was moving around today. The videos that you saw, he was okay. Like, he looked okay. He just needs to, get a little bit more. But, I mean, again, Dante Johnson's done a bang-up job, man. And K'Wan Williams didn't play in the Rams game as well too. He'll be playing in this game as well too. So a lot of things are going to change in terms of who's going to be available for the team. But I'm going to be optimistic and say that they will both be out there and they should be good to go. And this team is, again, as healthy as they can be. And the shoulder is off of the report now for Garoppolo. So it's just a thumb now that he has to manage. So, that is somewhat optimistic news and somewhat good news. So I think that they should have everybody out there and they'll be as healthy as they can be at this point.
Yep. So we'll continue to monitor it, see how it progresses throughout the week. Paul says hurt Jimmy G in the Super Bowl will hurt ratings. I mean, will it though?
Nah, people are gonna tune in. People are gonna tune in when that crazy roller coaster of a ride and Jimmy G's in the Super Bowl and he's just like lighting it up and they're just gonna say, "Man, the thumb, look at him go!" Like it's every time you want to leave this man for dead. And I know I've been saying it week after week, right? Like this is the week that everybody's kind of just been piling on Jimmy, right? Because of the dropped interceptions, right? But what about the drop passes that he hit and he put on people's numbers that were dropped as well too? You can't tell the story without
touchdown.
Right. You can't. One side, you can't just tell the story on one side or on the other. But as soon as you want to count this man out, is exactly when he's just gonna throw it in somebody's face. And I think that this is gonna be the week where you get like 210, a touchdown or two, no picks, anything like that. Like it's just when you really think you have this man figured out, he just throws another curveball at you. And I think this is gonna be the game that he plays well. So, and the other thing, Paul, the 49ers are a draw, man. If they're in it and Jimmy Garoppolo is starting and he's hurt, it doesn't matter. Two things that outside fans want to see. They want to see if Jimmy G's like that, and they also want to see Jimmy G fail. A lot of people want to see Jimmy G fail. I'm not talking about 49er fans. I'm talking about outside fans, outside fan bases who want to pile on this. Do you understand how angry it would make people if Jimmy Garoppolo went out there and won a Super Bowl? It would make everyone else upset. It would make everyone mad. And I'm here for that. Just for that. I'm here for that, for the chaos. Yeah. I'm here for that. I am absolutely here for that because then I don't care where you fall on it. Who cares? Win the damn thing and get it done. At this point, no point in talking about the quarterback because Garoppolo is going to be starting both games. Yeah, I got the 49ers going to the Super Bowl. So it doesn't matter. You just got to hope that he plays well, and that's it. And I think he will this week.
Absolutely. And also, just another point, it's a Super Bowl. It's the most watch event of the entire year, regardless of who's playing. And when you get the 49ers, one of the biggest brands in all of sport, into the mix, and whether it's going to be Mahomes or whoever they face, it's going to be a draw regardless. So there's plenty of storylines to come along with the San Francisco 49ers, and that a lot of people would be tuning in to watch. Keith Murphy says, based on one of our previous conversations about Rodgers potentially going to play in Denver, he said, why would Rodgers want to play for play Mahomes and Herbert twice a year?
He doesn't have to play them. His defense does.
Exactly.
And they have weapons, man. Aaron Rodgers with a full workload for Javonte Williams and Devontae Adams.
They have a good offensive line too.
Yeah, and Noah Fant, and they'll probably have to move Judy, Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick. They're loaded. They are loaded, man. They are ready to take on anybody. And then that defense, Surtain, that secondary, that pass rush, man. I mean, Herbert, this is his second year, but they kind of came apart at the end a little bit. And, the Mahomes thing, okay, that's twice a year, but they may not meet in the playoffs, or anything like that. So, I get it. Rodgers is facing Mahomes and Herbert, but he has to face their defenses. He doesn't have to face them. So,
absolutely. So, it's a situation where obviously we look at the roster, and if you put Devontae Adams and potentially Aaron Rodgers on any offense, it's going to just explode. So, I'm not sure that's exactly what he's worried about at this point. But that's a conversation that we can have for another day, because we are here on 49ers football. We're talking Packers, we're talking Rams. Let's talk a little bit about that. You mentioned it earlier, and I want to highlight it because I didn't even notice it until Dan Orlovsky pointed it out, did that little film breakdown on the effort from Kwaski to make that play, to whatever the miscommunication was. I believe Jimmy Ward came down to sit on like a outbreaking route, and I believe it was Dante. He passed it off.
He thought he had hope.
They just had miscommunication, and Kwaski comes from felt like 90 yards away to make the tackle, and like you talked about earlier, that led to the blocked kick by Jimmy Ward. Talk about that play and just what those types of plays mean to not only the outcome of the game, but to the team and the energy and all that kind of stuff.
If you're a high school coach, take that play, clip it, and show it to your team. Effort, never giving up. And you know why? The blocked field goal. They got 0 points out of it. If he doesn't get down there and tackle him, that's a touchdown. 75 of those yards that Aaron Rodgers had was on that one play. He threw for 55 yards in the second half. After the first drive, he was largely absent. Tart putting his body and team on his back by doing that, it shows the direction that this team is in. And it shows why those plays are so important. You never know what's about to happen. The next play was almost a fumble. Right? Nick Bosa, crushes Rodgers. The ball goes up. He picks it up, and they're just like, screw it. We're just going to take the field goal. Jimmy Ward blocks the field goal. You keep playing, play after play, stack them. And Tart is that. There's never been a question about his effort, right? And that play is not going to be as flashy as the block punt or even the block field goal or many of the sacks that were in this game. But that really, really changed the game, because 10-0 going into the half, or worse, 14-0 going into the half. I don't know what the team could do, from there. We don't know how that team would have responded from there. So there's cases of it, the Philly game as well, right? It's crazy the parallels between the two plays. The throw over the head to, I think it's Kes Watkins. He's sprinting down the sideline. Tart catches him. And guess what happens? No points on that drive after four successful stops at the goal. It is just all about heart, desire. Tart's always had it, and that's why you play every single down just like that. Again, that play is not as flashy as all the other ones, or the field goal, or the block punt. But damn, if that wasn't probably one of the plays that maybe lifted the team up and said, "Look at that. Look at that. Like you feed off of that. You see that energy. And then to get into the half 7-0 could have been way worse, man. Shout out to Jaquaski Tart. Extend Jaquaski Tart. Stop playing with my guy, man. I'm so happy for him, man. He's been balling out of his mind lately.
I love that. I love that you referenced the Philly play because also I think we had a similar play or sequence against the Falcons. I'm mistaking how they got the ball down, but I believe it was Jimmy Ward who made like the tackle on the one right at no, it was Jermichael Hasty fumbled. He fumbled the opening kickoff to the Falcons. The defense had to come out on the field, and then we got Jaquaski Tart made, I believe, 2 plays and then eventual 4th down stop on that particular play. It's just wild, like the parallels you can find all throughout the year, but the underlying theme is effort and just belief that you have to give your full effort each and every play. And if you do, good things can come from it as a result. And I think overall, when we look at this team, it does feel like there's just like they talked about it at the podium, this sense of calmness when they were playing the Packers and they were down and the offense wasn't moving, but the offense, like they just kept talking about. Fred talked about it, Bosa talked about it, Kittle talked about it, Jimmy talked about it. There's just this sense of calm on the sideline in a moment in a game like that. To me, that feels dangerous. Like and we know how things works with our emotions. We get emotionally flustered one way or the other. It kind of makes you think a little bit differently than you would like to. And for them to be calm in that moment says a lot, right?
And it's a sign of a good team that never panics, which is why I have the 49ers in this game over the Rams, because the Rams are the opposite of that. When things start not going well, Ramsey wants to punch Taylor Rapp, Donald's throwing his helmet, McVay's running into the end zone. They start to unravel quickly. This team, there's that calmness about we still are here, we got a chance, let's get it done. That stuff, that's a team that's on its way to going to the Super Bowl. And that's why I continue to have a tough time figuring out how the Rams win this game unless they do something that they haven't done in a long time, which is not let things snowball on them, whether that's a blowout early on or when things start to get critical, right? Like it almost happened against the Bucs. 27-3, and you had to win at the last second by an amazing throw by Matthew Stafford, by the way. Incredible.
Yeah, that was a dime. The freaking floater to drop it in the bucket.
Dude,
Like,
while he's getting hit, falling away, cover
yeah.
zero, thing of beauty. But it took all that. And they were this close to imploding one more time.
Yep.
There's something in that team's DNA about being punched. And then when things start to not go their way, things just continue to not go their way. And I get it. Yeah, it's in their head. So unless they have figured something out, I don't know, man. That's the same team that I saw week 18. That's the same team that I saw all year when faced with challenges. So yeah, good for them, man. They beat Arizona, frauds. They beat they beat the Bucks. You know, Brady almost got it done.
Almost.
But it's still largely that same team. And the 49ers have the formula. And yes, my bad. The Arizona Cardinals are frauds. Shame on any of you who ever thought that Cliff Kingsbury was better than Kyle Shanahan, by the way. I'm never getting off that victory lap. I told you and told you and told you those boys were frauds and they weren't going anywhere. I don't care what they did in the regular season. It's December. That's Cliff. That's Arizona. Sorry.
That's Cliff. Probably one of the most one-dimensional coaches that exists in the league.
When it's December, it's like, what do I do, man? How do I coach? What do I do? Like, it's not even just the NFL. It happened while he was in Texas Tech. This isn't a theory, and I'm not giving you my
And he had just a laundry list of first-round picks at Texas Tech.
He couldn't get done with Pat Mahomes. Like, they're gangbusters in September and October, man. Watch out. But when it gets to November and December,
figuring it out.
Yeah. Not poor Kyler Murray.
Yeah, dude. It's so Kurt says Cliff falls off the cliff. I like it.
Love it.
We'll take any and all Cardinals slander on this channel. We will accept it and we will prop it up. We're okay with that. So continuing to kind of look at the matchup, is there anything that stands out to you against the Rams that either the 49ers need to exploit, maybe try to put extra emphasis on, or is it just an all hands on deck game like we've seen for the entire year?
I mean, it's going to be both. It's still going to be a close game, but the 49ers have to come out running the ball immediately. None of this get down 17-0 thing. Like, don't let that happen again, right? Like,
No.
you have to find, like, it took the 49ers a little while to get their footing offensively. You really can't afford to have a bad start. So hopefully that opening script is a thing of beauty, right? And I think that
Yes.
that's where we're going to be. Like, we're going to watch Kyle Shanahan dice this defense up. They were prepared to stop the outside zone in week 18. The 49ers shifted from that to inside zone with just the toss, just showing the outside zone with the toss, but still having that cutback lane. And that's where it really
Favorite
started.
play.
Yeah, that's where it really started. So emphasis on the run game. Make sure that you are not behind in the score. I mean, the way they won in week 18 was amazing, but that's not a recipe for success. You don't want to go down and say, all right, it's cool, we're just going to come back. So start fast on the ground, control the game, control the tempo, and let them come to you. Make them make a play. Force them into a spot where they are getting pressed, because that's not the place they want to be. They're front runners, and when they're ahead, they're very good, and they're laughing it up and they're going crazy. But again, if you're able to punch them and dictate the tempo to them and impose your will, that's when you will see the difference between the two teams right here. And I think that's why I have the utmost confidence in the 49ers, is because they know how to get under this team's skin. They know how to beat them, and they know that they sort of have not even sort of, they have their number. And it's up to the Rams to do something that they haven't done in these last 6 matchups, is find a way to get this damn thing done. One of those games was started by Nick Mullins. So if that doesn't tell you right there that they're in the mind, and they're in the Rams' mind, it's not just a Jimmy Garoppolo thing. Nick Mullins went in there and beat them too. So it's something that they have to clear mentally, that I'm not sure that they're ready to do at this point, because after the game, it was a t-shirt and hat game week 18. They had just won the NFC West. You would have thought they got eliminated. They were at the podium sick, in their locker room quiet. And like, I'm just like, bro, break out the t-shirts and hats. Where you at?
Yeah.
Like,
You're posting all over social media right after you took an L that you guys are the NFC West champions. Congratulations,
so
guys.
man, but why y'all acting so sad? So again, they have this thing, this mental block, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's again, I hate to keep using it, right? But it's the water boy thing, right?
Yeah.
The coach sees the other coach at the other side.
Visualization, man.
That's it.
That's it.
So yeah, water sucks anyway. Gatorade.
Gatorade's better. Mark says, as an AZ 49er diehard, slander them MF and cards. We got you all damn day, Mark.
It's slander season for them. I'm not taking my foot off the pedal on that.
Bro, we even hijacked their slogan. I think that's one of my favorite thing that we've done this week, is we just hijacked their slogan.
See red?
We decided that, hey, if you're not in the playoffs, your slogan's up for grabs, and we're swooping.
Yeah, I love it.
We already swooped SoFi. Now we're swooping slogans. We're a crazy bunch. The faithful are crazy, man.
And Guy Haberman had the best meme of Arizona, man. It was so good, man. Shout out to him. You got Guy Haberman.
I didn't see it.
You remember those Lexus commercials, December to Remember?
Vaguely.
Yeah, so like it says December to Remember, and it's usually 3 cars there or whatever. Yeah, he did it December to Remember with the Cardinals, and it's just 3 L's, and it's so perfect, man. Like, and he posted it before they started losing in December, because he knew what was about to happen. Shout out to Guy Haberman. You guys got to see that. I thought that was chef's kiss right there. Chef's kiss.
I did not see that. That sounds fantastic, though.
It's
that
perfect.
Sounds like some quality memeage right there.
I'll try to find it.
Gammon says, worrisome that we haven't scored 30 plus points in a while. I think I've gotten used to the 49ers scoring 30 points, but also on the flip side of that, if the defense continue to play lights out. Right. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Oh, quality. That is a quality meme.
Shout out to
Guy. The AZ logo on it and everything.
Perfect.
Oh my God. Beautiful. Good job, Guy. Well done.
Great job, guy.
Gammon says, worrisome that we haven't scored 30 plus in a while. Are you worried, Jason? Does that bother you going up against the high-powered LA Rams?
No. If the 49ers need to score 30, then they're giving up points, and this defense just hasn't been doing that at all. And they continue to clamp and clamp and clamp. So they're winning in different ways. Just have more points at the end of the game. I really don't care if you get to that 30. I think the 30 that you should be shooting for is 30 rushes, 30 to 35 rushes. You get that, and that's a recipe to win. more than 30 points is, in my opinion, because you can win this game totally, and I'm calling it 27-21. You can win this game with 27 points. All you have to do is just play the defense that you've been playing all season, especially down the stretch here. So if they have to score 30, that would be worrisome for me because then that means they're giving up a bunch of points, which I don't foresee them doing. So, I hear you, Gavin, because they were rolling for so long with 30 points, 30 points, 30 points. But now this defense is locked in so hard that now it's a moot point at this point. Like if they score 30, they're going to blow them out. They're going to blow them out if they score 30.
This defense has been going crazy. It feels like Fred Warner was a pinnacle piece in that energy of the defense. Obviously, we saw everyone contribute. We're not just going to single one singular person, but it did feel like Fred was just the energy driving force behind that entire defense, and he balled out. But I agree with Jason. If the 49ers are scoring 30 points, that probably means we're in a shootout situation at that point. So we'll see how it goes, but it could honestly go either way. Justin says, will Ward get a solid hit on OBJ? He still may be sore from OBJ's hit after the pick. You think he's going to get it? He talked about in the press conference after that game, week 10 against the Rams.
He sure did. And I know he wants to get that, but I'd rather see him get a pick in this game again.
Yeah.
That would be better. I mean, I know we want to, have the storylines and everything, but yeah, I mean, I hope he does. I hope it's legal and I hope that nothing comes of it. I hope he doesn't get injured, anything like that either. I'm talking about Odell. But I hope so. But I'd rather see him get an interception in this game. That would be much better than any hit on OBJ. But
if we got a vintage 2017 Robert Woods slant into Jimmy Ward hit stick, I think, but you just put OBJ in that scenario, that would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic. But to Jason's point, we got bigger fish to fry. A hit on OBJ is cool, but a trip to the Super Bowl is cooler.
Get that pick.
Yes, sir. Cap speaking, dropping 50 bombs. We see you, Cap. He says we were plus 400 odds to beat the pack straight up, dropped 250 without hesitation, and took home 1K. Thought I'd share the wealth. Go Niners.
My man, Cap.
Let's go. That's how you win.
I made money this week too.
Off your chest out, man.
That's I was able to book my flight off of what I won as well too. So I picked the Bengals, I picked the Niners, and I picked who's the other one? The Rams. Boom, boom, boom. And I know somebody else who put a bet in through me. He put a little bit more money up. He walked away with a nice little piece of change. But I put up like 25 and I walked away with like 275, 300. And I was like, okay, so we're going to LA now.
Woo!
Yeah.
Hey, man, it feels good when not only your team wins, but you win some bread off them, and they can help put you in the right direction. So shout out, Cap, man. You're a legend. I appreciate that, brother.
I hope I see you at the game, man. If you're sharing the wealth, then you need to come down and party, man. Let's go,
yeah,
man.
Make sure you link up with Jason in LA when the 49ers take over whose house? Rams' house. So that is coming. And thank you.
Rams guys here?
Oh yeah, he's by himself.
Shout out to you, buddy. You're trying.
I appreciate you working our algorithm, getting those comments in. We really do appreciate it. It helps the channel quite a bit. So thank you very much.
For sure.
Also, might be a good opportunity. Like this damn post. Subscribe to Jason Aponte. Subscribe to the SF Niners. We got dual streams. Like both. Subscribe to both. Bang bang, Niner. Okay.
Now we need to get Brad to come out to LA too. So can you peer pressure him in the comments, man? Because there's it's a vibe right now. Like from what I found out and who's going, like it's a lot of us, and
there's gonna be heads heading to LA. It's gonna be all red. It's gonna be a sea of red. It's gonna be absolutely phenomenal.
And I got all the parties lined up. The 49er invasion, John Chapman's meetup, the tailgate. We vibing in LA, boy. This is gonna be a lot of fun.
Hell yeah, dude. It's going to be great time. Again, too, kind of like as a fan base. Like, I personally feel like it's house money, too. Like, we talked about the pressure on the team. Well, let's talk about the fans. We're talking to quite a bit of them. We've got about almost 900 on the stream. Is there like a pressure from a fan perspective going into this game, wanting to get to the Super Bowl and doing all that? But I personally feel like heading into this game, whatever the outcome is, I'm just I'm so happy to be along for the ride. That might sound cliche, might sound whatever, but to be perfectly honest, like, whatever the outcome is of that game, like this season is just going to be a special season regardless. And I don't know how you feel about that, but I just feel like I feel a sense of calm going into this game. Normally I get a little nervous, a little worked up, little, anxiety, but I don't know. I feel all right. How are you feeling?
I mean, it's Wednesday, so I'm not really feeling anything. I'm feeling more excitement than anything because I have to pack, immediately and, in a little while. Like I'm here with Averly today, I'm here with her tomorrow, and I'm out Friday morning, so I could be there Friday at noon, in LA, Pacific time. So I'm not really feeling anything but excitement now at this point. The anxiety will start at kickoff. I'm gonna have a blast and I'm gonna try not to think about what could go wrong, anything like that. I'm you know positivity is gonna be a big thing for me, and it has been for a while. And I think that's been the right way to think about things. But right now, I'm not feeling anything. I'm just excited, and I'm a little bit in a reflection stage, right? And I've been this way for a few weeks because you and I have talked offline. What? Forget the football season. I mean, don't forget it. Obviously, that's why we're here. I'm talking about this year for the San Francisco 49ers
Mhm.
from January 1st of 20.
Literally.
Yeah, literally.
Literally.
Literally, January 1st, all the way up to where we're at right now, like one full calendar year. The
We're
roller
past
coaster.
a full calendar year,
Yeah.
Jason.
The roller coaster, the subplots,
Oh,
the rumors, everything, the draft stuff, all of this stuff. This has been an insane year. Insane. Absolutely insane. No team has given you more storylines to talk about all year, and no team has given a fan base more to discuss than the San Francisco 49ers every single day, man. And look, we could have never
they don't even take
foreseen what
Christmas off, Jason.
we have, right? Like, I didn't even take Christmas. Like, John Lynch's like tweet. I'm like, I'm not even taking Christmas off. Like, we vibing. Like, it's so crazy to now look at all of that stuff. And right now, the 49ers are one game away from being in the Super Bowl. It's just the twists and turns with this team, man. It is the gift that never stops giving. And when it's over, I'm just gonna like sit in a corner and just like wow, it's still not over. There's
Like the
still not over.
Wolverine meme where you're holding up a picture of the 2021 season and you're just laying in bed, you're just looking at it, thinking about it, thinking of all the things that happened.
No matter what happens, this is always going to be a special season for the 49ers, for me, in my heart. Yeah,
Absolutely. The chat is enjoying the Chivas pack at the moment after he got the block. So we see you guys vibing in the chat.
man.
I want to talk about this. Mina Kimes
Mm-hmm.
had a very nice soundbite. Not a soundbite. I think it was a soundbite, but I got the quote.
Oh,
I want to talk about it a little bit. She said on First Take, Mina Kimes, I'm going to start off by saying, got all the respect in the world for her. I
love
think she's
Mina
one of
Kimes.
the top analysts out there. What she's doing as a woman in a male dominated industry, fantastic. She's
Absolutely love
great.
Mina.
Yeah, I don't care that she's a Seahawks fan.
Me either.
She's fantastic. But she did say this today, and I think when you say something like this and it gets printed in the way that it's printed like this, it 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 does something. And she says Jimmy G is the definition of being part of the group project that gets an A while doing none of the work.
Hmm.
What is your reaction just to that piece alone?
I think it's a bit of an oversimplification because when Jimmy plays, they win. And again, like you can't tell the story of both how he played in this game without talking about the throws that he did make that weren't catches. What if Kittle catches that and cribs that? If Jawan Jennings makes that catch and they move the sticks and they keep the offense rolling. I mean, Jimmy G threw for more yards in the second half than Aaron Rodgers did. That's not so it's look, I get what she's trying to say. I get it. I get what she's trying to say,
Right.
but there is something tangible to the idea that when he starts, they win. And I don't know how to explain it sometimes.
Right.
It'll be on that one drive that you need it. It doesn't matter what he has done before it. When you need that drive, I mean, he drove them down to get the field goal to win the
Last
game, right?
drive against week 18 against the Rams.
Yeah, like it's stuff like that you can have this opinion that Mina has, but then the other stuff gets left out too. And it's like every team needs something. The same reason that Dak Prescott's not in this game is because people say, well, the defense failed you, the coaching failed you. Okay, so he needs help. Aaron Rodgers, well, the special teams let you down. Okay, well, he needs help. Every quarterback needs help. Tom Brady had to dig his team out of a hole. Oh, well, the defense put us in a bad spot. Everybody needs help,
Yep.
some more than others. But again, the whole discussion around Jimmy Garoppolo has become redundant to the point that people are recycling the same things that they have been saying. And I've said this a million times. The Jimmy supporters and the Jimmy haters, they both feel the same things
They
about Jimmy
say the same
Garoppolo.
things.
And they still can't even see it. Ask
Right.
a Jimmy Garoppolo supporter, and they'll say he's a fine quarterback. Ask a Jimmy Garoppolo hater, and he'll say he's a fine quarterback.
He's
Like,
good. He's okay. He's a starter.
I don't get it. You guys are right there. Like, you guys are right there on the 1 yard line at agreeing, and yet you just can't. You just can't. I don't get it, man. Look, there's the same way that saying Jimmy Garoppolo is fine is not a diss, as the same way that saying that he is fine is not some way to prop him up as like some top 10 quarterback.
Right.
It's just, why haven't you guys? You're so close. Like, you're right here. You're on the one. You're on the one. All you got to do is punch it in. You guys are this close to agreeing with each other while also having differing opinions. But the
Right.
same opinion is the same one that everybody has. Jimmy is fine. And they're 2 games away from winning the damn Super Bowl.
Right.
It's so strange, man. It really is. Like, you guys are so close to agreeing. I'm rooting for you guys. I promise I'm rooting for you guys.
And maybe we'll take an NFC championship win over the Rams, and maybe we'll be one step closer to just erasing that line that is seemingly keeping two sides at bay. We'll figure it out. I just think, when I look at this quote and I see while doing none of the work. I mean, I get the concept that she's trying to explain. Obviously, when
That's
you
a
look at
reach.
the Packers game, huge special teams effort, block kick by Ward, Willis, Talanoa, touchdown, Tundra touchdown, all that good stuff. Defense, Fred Warner, Eric Armstead going crazy. Offense was just sputtering, just couldn't really do much. So I can understand what she's trying to say, but where she loses me is when she says while doing none of the work. And if you go again, we talked about a little bit before, when you go back and you listen to these players, and it's just not this game, it's nonstop. It started in the OTAs, and I admittedly was just like, it's just media speak, they're doing whatever.
What else are they supposed to say?
What was that?
Like, what else are they supposed to say?
Exactly.
They're not gonna bash. They're not gonna bash the quarterback.
Exactly. So I was just kind of the mindset, it's just, media jargon, whatever. But as the season has progressed, they say the same things after every game. Bosa said it to me. And when he said this, Bosa doesn't say a lot. So I think when people who don't say a lot speak, sometimes it can be a little bit more impactful. And when Bosa said he's the perfect leader for this team, I think that is what is missed by people like me, people like Mina. When we're so focused on the production on the field, we forget sometimes this game is played by humans. Those aren't robots. This isn't Madden. It's not we're controlling someone, they just do whatever we do. There's so much human emotion and mental processing that goes into playing the sport of football that if you aren't grounded in yourself and what you do, you can put that into everyone else and lower everyone else's game. But if you have an ability to stay calm, stay prepared and confident, that can also permeate into the rest of the group. And that's what we keep hearing from all of these players. And I tried to think about it. I played football, and I tried to think about it in the sense of, well, how did I think when my quarterback made a mistake and I'm out there on the field doing my I don't I had the realization, like, I don't think of it the same way as I analyze, because when we were playing it, it's just like you hear all the time. One play, wipe it clean. One play, wipe it clean. Good, bad, doesn't matter. Wipe it clean on to the next. And I really think that's how they think. And so when we see what we see and we're in the emotion of it, we freak out. when they're in the middle of it, that's not how they're thinking of it. So I just think it's two completely different perspectives on how they view the quarterback position, especially between fans and inside the locker room. And we just don't have that access. So we're obviously going to view it from the outside view. So I just think there's so many different intangible aspects at play with Jimmy Garoppolo, and that's why they keep talking about him in that way. And we hear QB wins all the time, right, Jason, with Jimmy Garoppolo, and it's become a bit of an inside joke, but there's just something here with Garoppolo that this team responds to. And at the end of the day, that's what you want.
Yep.
Now, going into this game against the Rams, obviously keeping turnovers down, bad decisions in big times, which we know is something that will rear its head from time to time. But it just feels like this team's got his back no matter what, right?
Yeah, and it doesn't have to make sense to anybody but them.
Exactly.
Like, and that's really where it's at. I mean, the one thing that
Exactly.
they've been consistent on is that it was going to be Jimmy the entire time, whether we wanted to listen to it or believe it. That's on us, but that's the one thing that they said over and over. This team believes in him. Look where they are. You can't argue with the results at this point. And again, the Jimmy Garoppolo haters, the Jimmy Garoppolo supporters, they'll say the same things. Limit the turnovers. Like, don't, just don't turn the ball over, right? Like, again, you guys are really close to agreeing. You're so close, man. Like, I promise you guys are like, you guys could be best friends. It's almost like stepbrothers. And when you finally,
Exactly like Step Brothers.
when you finally break through, it's like you guys are gonna go do karate in the garage when you guys finally get to like that middle ground that you guys are so close to getting to. Um,
Absolutely.
but it's just, again, a lot of these guys that are on this roster, their only taste of success was with Jimmy Garoppolo, and those guys believe in him. And look, I mean, can you argue with what's been happening? Right, the week 18 game down 17-0, boom, you're right back in and you win the game because of a Jimmy Garoppolo drive at the end of the game. All right, the next week you come out first half, you're good, you've done enough in the first half that it goes over the second half stuff, and you find a way to win the game. He throws for more yards in the second half than Aaron Rodgers did. He did. And Aaron Rodgers missed a wide open throw that he wanted to go for the kill shot to Devontae Adams, which was double covered by Dante Johnson and Hufanga. If that was Jimmy Garoppolo, bro, they would have been killing him for missing that guy right over the middle, man. And I understand.
Oh man.
I understand that Aaron Rodgers has more equity because he's one of the best throwers of the football I've ever seen.
That
I
was a
get that.
huge miss.
But it was a big miss that probably wins the game for them.
Yes.
So the same way that you guys are like, well, he didn't play good enough. Aaron Rodgers didn't play good enough. He didn't. And credit the defense, but he missed it. He missed it too. So I don't want to hear that. Aaron Rodgers has one Super Bowl and loses in the NFC Championship every year. But because he puts up gaudy stats all the time, and I do believe he is one of the best that's ever played, none of that stuff matters when his team gets bounced.
What about that post-draft interview where Aaron Rodgers said that the 49ers are going to regret not picking him?
Retire that video. Retire it. Don't care. L plus ratio plus don't care plus get a job. Don't care.
Plus hashtag RIP Bozo.
Get lost. You're smoking that Aaron Rodgers pack. I don't want to see that video ever again. I do not care, bro. None of us care anymore. 0-4 against the 49ers in the playoffs. I don't want to hear it. Retire that stupid video. Retire it.
Does not matter. I love that tweet, by the way. That was fire.
Yeah.
Brian says, this is kind of a funny analogy. He says, you and Brad are the best. Obviously talking about Jason. He says, Jimmy to me is like a blackout drunk. Gets hammered, does some bad stuff, then comes out of it and remembers nothing.
All right, that's a good one because there are people who get blackout drunk and then you have to take care of them for a little while throughout the day, but you can still have a fun night, right? Like you can still have a fun night if you give them some bread, you give them some water, and they come back to life, or you give them some coffee or something like that. That's a good one. The one that I've been running with is the roller coaster thing. There's upstairs, downs, and at the end, you just hope you don't puke. That's it. Like realistically, that's what
I like
is.
the roller coaster one.
Yeah.
Twists, turns, upside down.
Twist, turns upside down, and then at the end,
stomach's gonna drop. You feel good, you feel bad. Like
you just hope you had fun at the end, and
you're
don't
scared, you're happy, you're screaming, you're crying, all at the same time.
Such is life as a 49er fan with Jimmy Garoppolo as the quarterback. Don't care, having a blast. They're 2 games away from winning the Super Bowl, man.
Absolutely. I think someone asked where we got the hat. You want to see the hat? You can find that here,
Big man.
residency.com. Use the promo code SF9ers. I got you. You need the hat? I got you.
I feel
I
like I'm
got
the
you.
only one without one of those residency hats.
How do you not have one of these yet?
Right? I don't get it either. I don't get it.
You
And
don't
I
have
went through a
one?
long. No, I don't. I went through a long stretch of wearing hats too because I was chilling on getting haircuts, but now the haircut game's coming back. So you know what I mean. I don't know
Oh,
about
we
wearing
see
hats
it.
and stuff. But
Well,
yeah,
we'll get that. We'll get that figured out. I'm gonna get you
let's
hats.
go.
I got
That's
you.
it.
I got you, fam. We're gonna get you a nice little care package going.
Woo.
But as we continue to move forward through all of this, I think you talked a little bit earlier, kind of about the type of game flow that you're projecting and seeing. Let's kind of extrapolate a little bit on that. I believe you called out the score prediction 21 to 27 49ers win over the Rams this weekend, but kind of getting into the nitty gritty of it. How do you kind of see the game? Is this going to just be a tug and war back and forth? Do you think it's going to be one of these lopsided games that we always see where the team either starts slow, starts hot, and then they flip on the other end of it? What do you kind of see?
No, I think this one's going to be tight the whole way through. I mean, the 49ers can impose their will and still only be up like 7-0, 10-3. That's totally possible, which keeps the Rams in striking distance. I don't think that the 49ers are going to boat race the Rams as much as I would love that. I hope I'm wrong. That would be amazing. A game in the playoffs with no sort of heart palpitations, anything like that, sign me up.
With
But I
nothing
just
but
don't.
red in the stands, too? Whew.
Yeah, and it's just I don't know if that's going to happen. I think it's going to be back and forth in terms of that. Punches are going to be thrown. This is going to be a highly contested game as well too. But like when you look across the league too, all of the divisional games were incredible. What a weekend! Three of them ended with buzzer-beating kicks. One of them ended in overtime with it's got everybody in their feelings about the overtime rules and stuff. But it's just the preseason. That's how it is. When teams are evenly matched, divisional, you're going to find these games and they're going to be tough. And that's what makes the 49ers so impressive. They're so battle tested. They win in different ways. They have been playing playoff games for 5 weeks now. That's another thing. Like they have been playing for their lives for the last 5 weeks, basically. So they're battle tested. They're ready to go. I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to go get this done. But this isn't going to be some sort of like game where they fall behind or they jump ahead. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but I just think it'll be a game where, yes, the 49ers will be leading for most of the game, but the Rams will always be in striking distance with a chance to counter, and the 49ers, it'll be up to them to hold them at bay.
Absolutely. Let's poll the chat. Let's hear from the chat. Drop your score predictions for Niners versus Rams on Sunday, the NFC Championship game, one game away from the Super Bowl. I can't believe that we are in this position, Jason, because it felt like what did we keep saying all year? Just get into the dance. Just get
That's
in.
it. That's
Just
it.
get in. We don't care how you get in. Just get in, because once you get in, it resets everything completely different for everyone else across the board, right?
That's it. And the hottest team usually wins. The hottest team and the healthiest team.
Absolutely. So we're starting to get some score predictions in. It does look like we're
We got some
starting
Rams
to
fans.
see. What was that?
We got some Rams fans predicting a win for the Rams.
Probably. They want to they got to be up to speed on what the 49ers are doing, so they got to be prepared. So they came to the
49
right
nothing. I
spot.
like that score. That'll be fire.
49-0. For me personally, when looking at the score prediction, it does kind of feel like it's going to be on the higher end. Could be in the 30 category. I think I predicted every game coming down to being either on the last drive or a game-winning touchdown, game-winning kick. I would be remiss to not just keep that same energy, because based on what I know about the San Francisco 49ers, one of the things that we've talked about from them all year, Jason, is 60 minutes of football. Can we get it? I think you would kind of agree with me that maybe Rams week 10 was the best 60 minutes of football we've seen from this team. We really don't see that full 60. We see 30, or maybe in some instances against the
15.
Rams, like 10. Like, so it's just like it's all over the place, right? But it does feel like if the 49ers can come out and play 60 minutes of football, it just feels like how can they be stopped, right? What can the Rams do to stop a 49ers offense that, like you said, is running the ball 30 plus times. You're getting the quick slants, you're getting the play action boots, you're
Third
getting
down.
the counters in the game, in the run game. Like, if they're playing 60 minutes of football, I would assume you feel pretty confident about their chances.
That's why nobody wants to play the 49ers, because God help you if they ever do put it together
I
like that.
know. If we get one game of just execution, no mental errors or physical errors, like, this team is insane. That's the
That's why nobody
craziest
wants to
part.
play them, because they can't be beaten unless they beat themselves. That's it.
That's it. So we see the score predictions coming in. Gotta love it. Jason, is there anything else that you wanted to touch on before uh, you start getting packed and getting ready to go to LA this weekend for the Red Invasion?
Nah, and I mean, look, 49er fans, get out there and let's have some fun, man. Let's show up, let's show out. This is gonna be a fun time. This is once in a lifetime type thing, what the 49ers are doing right now. Um, and yeah, if you're out there and you see my tall, goofy ass, have a beer with me, man, and let's talk some football and everything as well too. So, in terms of what I've got going on today, this is my last show for the day because tomorrow I'm jam packed, like 3 shows in a row, including a sprint right option, because I will not be able to record at all on Friday. So tap into the channel. There's a lot of content coming your way. I'm going to be on other people's shows as well too, because people are excited for the 49ers, so they're asking me to come aboard. So just tap in on the channel.
Also, who did you just have on your channel last night so they can go check out that video?
49ers legend Booby Dixon joined me, and we had a great
Tony
talk.
Montana squad member. Let's go.
Yeah, man, it was great, man. Hearing him talk about the Tony Montana squad, about his favorite team, which was that team that was on the Ravens Super Bowl. About we spoke about Kaepernick. We spoke about he was really, really about to dip into the Harbaugh and bulky stuff at the end, and I told him, I was like, cut it. I was like, and save it for the next time that we talk, because we're just gonna talk. Because he said that he never saw anybody take offense to the way that Harbaugh coached. He was like, but I seen him and Balky get into it, and my eyes lit up, and I was like, wait, what? Like, I need this. But he was this close, and I just told him, I'm like, save it, bro. Next time we get you on the channel, we'll get you to pop on. It was like in the off season, I need to hear those stories about Balky and Harbaugh, just to accentuate
culture,
what
bro.
we already knew. But yeah, it was a ton of fun. And if you guys haven't seen it, it's on the channel. Booby was good enough to give me about 20-30 minutes of his time. He popped in and out just because he had his phone die on him, but it was a blast having him on there, and a lot of the 49er fans reacted well to what he had to say, man. Just a bucket of energy, man.
That's awesome. Oh, one thing that I did forget, Sanu was activated off injured reserve. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think he dresses? I believe Travis Benjamin has kind of been that sixth wide receiver to dress, right? Do you think maybe Sanu gets to dress this week, or do you think it's just going to be the same wide receiving core?
I think God is too good right now. I think that's a good piece to have on the back end, just in case, God forbid, something happens. But it's still Jennings, Ayuk, and Debo. So
absolutely. I've heard from a little birdie, so I don't know if you guys are aware. It does sound like we might have a new stadium chant headed our way. The shout out to Michael Irvin on NFL Network for doing the whole Debo Wizard of Oz chant. It does sound like that might get brought out for some practice runs at the invasion put on by the San Francisco 49ers. So if you guys are going to that game and you're going to link with Jason, go to the 49ers invasion. And we'll also, yep, you know exactly what we're talking about. You know exactly what we're talking about. So it does sound like we're going to get some practice runs going at the invasion. It's probably going to be the biggest 49ers invasion that we've had yet. So absolutely make sure you stop in for that. It's going to be all kinds of good stuff. So make sure you show some love. And it's going to be an intense game, Jason. I can't wait. We're going to keep rolling on this content. It doesn't have to be said, but we want to be coming back next Wednesday talking 49ers Super Bowl. Isn't it crazy that we're like that close away? Like that's a range of outcome. If you would have said 3-5 range of outcome, 49ers going to the Super Bowl, we would have said like,
Probably not.
I wish I had that optimism. And I'm an optimistic person, but I wouldn't have said Super Bowl at 3-5, man. We're that close, man.
Yeah. And you know, and I see a lot of people giving people crap about, well, you gave up. Hey man, that's a natural reaction to the way that team was playing. Like for many people, you know, like I understand being faithful to the team and everything, but come on, man, nobody could have seen this coming. That's what makes
It's
this
so
ride.
emotional when
Yeah,
you don't have any say about what is going on. You're just riding the roller coaster. There's going to be emotions that come from
yeah,
that. So
yeah. And
you
it
would
doesn't mean
be like lying to yourself
right.
if
It
you
doesn't mean
just
that
were
you're a
like,
bad fan.
Everything's fine. We're going to the Super Bowl."
It doesn't mean that you're a bad fan, but anybody who sat there and told you at 3-5, yeah, we're going to the NFC Championship at least. I don't
Right.
know, man. That didn't seem likely then. That there's no shame. And if you had that attitude and you thought that, then more power to you. But like the whole bashing people who, well, you gave up and relax, man. That was a natural reaction for many people.
Absolutely. And like, let's be fair. That's why at one point on this channel, the only thing we were talking about was the singular game in front of us because that's all that mattered. If that there was no looking forward. It was you got to win the game that's coming up in front of you. And if you don't, you're in trouble. And that's all the focus was on. It's been quite the ride. Kelts says, stay faithful, stay blessed. Great show. Faithful, rise up, redeem. Redemption for 2019. It's a special season. Real talk, to say the least. No lies detected at all, Celts. No lies detected. So make sure you guys are following both Jason at Jason Aponte on YouTube. It's Jason Aponte 2103 on Twitter.
Yep, that's my
Um,
burner.
the burner. Um, so make sure you follow this man's. Obviously, Jason, you are going to have to post every clip that you get of the Red Sea on your Instagram. I
Yeah,
need to see it.
for
I need
sure.
to see fans. I need to see plays. I want it all. So make
Yeah.
sure you tap in with Jason, follow his page because he will have in stadium sights and sounds, get all that stuff. It's going to be legit. Or around the stadium sights and sounds.
Everything.
Everything.
We're trying to get in there. We're just waiting for those tickets to drop, and we're trying to see
Yeah,
what
we're gonna win. This is what's gonna happen. Jason is going to catfish Stafford's wife. He's gonna get free tickets from the Rams. Success.
I'm just gonna send a picture of my face with my best haircut and beard, and I'm just gonna be like, "Hey, I'm a 49ers
Well,
fan.
what's up, baby? Let me
How you
take
can
you
say
out
no
to
to me?
dinner.
Yeah, what's up, baby? If you see these dogs in the front yard, huh?"
Just know they're going hard. Let's go, baby. We appreciate the faithful. The chat was on fire today. You guys are fantastic. Like up these videos on your way out. Hit that sub button, and let's get to rocking because there's
Hold
still
up, hold up,
plenty
hold
of
up, hold up, Brad. And you hitting 10K today too, bro? Like it's nothing.
bro. Shout out to faithful, bro. Like I needed a cool 100 to get to 10K, and they went above and beyond, man. It's wild. Shout out to faithful, man. And we got to get Jason to 10K.
I'm getting
You're
there.
next,
I'm
buddy.
getting there. I'm getting
You're
there.
next.
Next.
We got to get Jason to 10K followers on Twitter. He's really close before, so make sure you go over follow him, get that thing going up because the whole squad's going up. That's what's happening. So
Salute.
it's beautiful time. So we will be back next Wednesday, regardless of the outcome, to break it all down. Obviously, we know the outcome that we're looking forward to, but we'll see what happens. We appreciate you guys as always. Best crew in all the land. These Wednesday talks are always fire, Jason. And I can't wait to get this thing rolling. Appreciate all you guys. We will see you